Good morning, everyone. It's time for Monday morning motivations, and we have a question. Are you frazzled, frustrated, or are you mentally fit? Do they tie together? Oh, yeah. I'm Carol Henderson, and I'm here with my little warm drink because it's chilly out. So here is my wonderful co-host who doesn't like warm drinks.
My cold drink, I have it in my hand. Hi, ABarbaraEllison. It keeps disappearing. I know, but you know what? Let's talk for 1 second. The beauty of virtual backgrounds. It really does. I mean, how things have come a long way. So I've had people that ask me, "Oh, you have a beautiful bookcase." Thank you so much. Yeah, I can.
And it's in her beautiful pink room that has her published books on the bookshelf.
On the walls. Exactly. So, but you know what? Part of that is about of having a virtual background is going to be part of our conversation today. Of are you frazzled? Are you frustrated? Or are you mentally fit? And so, yeah. Anyways, so yeah, I'm Barbara. Hi, how are you? Welcome to the show, everybody.
Oh, we do appreciate y'all joining us every Monday morning or whenever you do join us.
Whenever you listen to us, yeah.
Yes, our channel is growing. Please share it with your friends, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. Comment, like, and share. Ring the bell because we love doing this and we love speaking into people's lives, and we hope that we're making your life a little better each day. And I just went to my class reunion and it was fun. And, we had to put it off a little bit because of all the
craziness
the last 3 years. But anyway, so and after we were over, I was very, very busy because I was on the committee and I did the name tags and stuff like that. And when I say that, it's like they weren't just name tags, they had the high school senior picture on them and stuff like that. So it took a little bit of effort. I did it 10 years ago, no problem, easy breezy. But in the meantime, the computer had changed. The program was no longer available on my newer computer. Not it's old, but it's newer. And then when I'd go to import the pictures, it was like, can't save it. So one of the other committee members found me a program that I could do a temporary program for that old one, put it on the new computer because my computer wouldn't accept the copy that I had. Another friend, when the pictures wouldn't download, said, "Oh, just resave them because all the upgrades have caused those files to be corrupted. Just save them as a new." And I'm like, "Oh," did that worked. It was just like a hurdle after hurdle, and I was organized with it. However, it felt very disorganized and disjointed and took time and
effort and stress. She was stressed. Let's tell her.
I was stressed, and it took 2 or 3 days of 10 to 12-hour days to get those name tags done. I mean, who would have thought? And that was after the hurdles were hurdled. and then to print them, and I live 45 miles out of town, had to print them. My new printer would not do the cardstock, and I had given my other printer that would do cardstock to somebody that shall remain nameless. Or maybe this way, I don't know how it shows on your screen. But anyway, and so Chicago's a little far for me to go.
To commute.
And so I ended up having to print them on plain paper, take them to town and cut them because who knows where I think it broke my slicer thing. It was just like one thing after another. And it was so much fun to go. And after I got all the duties out of the way to start visiting, it was a 2-night reunion. But after I was home yesterday, I was kind of sitting and relaxing, thinking I should have interviewed a lot of those people just there at the event for our shows.
Yes.
You know, we are all in the second half of our life. Believe it or not, I know that you don't believe that Barbara and I are in the second half, but you know, anybody could be. A 10-year-old could be in the second half of their life. You never know.
You
So
never
you
know.
want to live full out
Right.
every moment of every day, doing what God calls you to do, because you don't know when the clock runs out.
Right. Exactly. And so that's why, our title of this was, are you are you frazzled? Are you frustrated? Or are you mentally fit? That's where live every day as if, like, because we all get frazzled, we all get frustrated, but being organized can really cut down on those feelings.
Yes.
Like this week, Carol and I had a couple of other things that we had to deal with. And it was like, okay, and you want to plow, you do plow through it. However, one of my personal goals for this year is to get more organized.
Well, and I have news. She's doing better on her mail. Tell them what happened this week on your mail.
Oh, hey,
they know.
I actually got it.
Yeah.
I actually got a mail, and I tend to just kind of get mail, and it puts on my desk, and then it's like, okay, I'll do it later. Yeah, bad words. Do it. Bad words. Do it
She
later.
does that with email and snail mail, and as y'all know, a while back she opened 6 months worth of mail or something.
Oh, 6 months. 6 months
or
worth
more.
of mail, and found several checks. So this time I have got, Carol said yesterday, well, so how much mail is on your desk? And I could actually say, I had one little pile that even actually wasn't even mail. It was organized. I knew what was in the pile. But it was a little pile. But I said, oh yeah. And I said, you would be proud of me. I almost put 2 pieces of mail on it and just didn't even really look at it. I just put them down. Well, guess what? I said, no, Barbara, I have said that I'm going to be more organized and I'm going to open up my mail. So I opened them up, and one of them was a check.
Big check.
So get organized. So that's kind of what our thing is for today. This is just to help you. And we always think that, oh, well, this is easy.
No big deal.
No big deal. That isn't everybody organized. No, they're not. Some people have taken it to the extreme, and that's not what we're talking about. Because some people have gotten so organized that they can't stand when anything is even one little slightly, and that can be very frustrating in itself. There has to be that give and take.
Yes.
There has to be
my
a
daughter
middle
was that
ground.
way. She was very much.
My sister was that way.
Well, she burned my daughter burned her house down. Okay. Yeah.
All right, we got to hear that.
Her babies were little. She had dogs that, had been her children until the babies came. And she and her husband were both firemen and met at a fire, actually. That's how they met. And they had a house in Amarillo, and, she was a smoker. So she went and put her cigarette out, got ready to go to bed, went and dumped her ashtray in the trash, and went to bed. Never a good idea. Let ashes sit overnight and cool off. I've heard of people doing this with their fireplace ashes. Mm-hmm. But anyway, she went to bed and the dogs woke her up barking. And they had the babies by then. Anyway, and she was able to evacuate and get out, but it was talking severe damage. Ended up moving into a hotel, then to a house, and never went back to that house. They got the damage repaired and sold it. So yeah, don't be that much of a neat freak.
Exactly.
She couldn't stand having
anything around
like that. Yeah, anything like that around or done, and you can work yourself to a frazzle.
Exactly, because you have to be too organized.
Yeah, you think about it. My thing is holidays. It's like you know, you go and you watch TV and they do the big dinner and stuff, and you might see one or two people doing dishes, having a good time. You never see the cleanup before, you never see the cleanup after, you never, you know, it just appears. And we expect our lives to be like TV, and TV is not real, folks.
Right. You know,
And growing up, I thought everybody but me lived in a 2-story house, because that was the Leave It to Beaver and Cleaver and
right.
whatever, Father knows best days.
Father knows best, right? You know, and even one of my favorite sayings is that don't compare your life, your everyday life, to someone else's sizzle reel.
Yes.
And we say that so often, and yet Carol and I hear it from our clients, from other people, our other friends and stuff, that it's like, oh yeah, I mean, people are doing it. Yeah. Don't compare, and especially young girls. They are comparing themselves to these supermodels that are 13 and 14 and 15.
Yes. Yes.
And they're comparing their body and their hair. They're airbrushed.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
They're airbrushed. So don't compare your everyday messiness with somebody else's highlight reel of the picture perfect home.
Well, and also, you know, I just came from the class reunion, and how many of you have a friend that you haven't seen for a long time? They're on Facebook. They look almost like they did in high school.
They haven't aged.
Haven't aged a bit. In fact, Keith and I have a friend that is that way, and she just always looks so amazing. And she looks amazing in person for real, but she doesn't look like the picture on Facebook at all.
Yeah, so, exactly.
Go check my wall. I have one that a friend took at the reunion. I don't know what kind of filter she has on her phone, but I want one.
Yeah. It is a really good picture. But anyways, so what we thought we would do today is just to give you a few little tips on being more organized. And part of what happens to people is that their organization stems from that they aren't managing their time effectively. And I kind of like have struggled with that sometimes, is that I go down on well, you know, Carol and I, we go down on bunny trails.
No.
No. However, you can get distracted. So the number one thing, I think the first thing that we could talk about, that we thought we would talk about, is prioritize your tasks. Yes. And that starts the night before. Know what you're
doing. A written paper list.
Exactly. And you know, and either whatever way works for you. I have an app on my phone that says tasks. And so I put into my task, and then I get to cross it off and I see it cross out the task on my list, whichever way works for you. But anyways, but the biggest thing about having a to-do, I try to stay away from the to-do list, because your to-do list is never ending. It's never ending. So, but what's your priority list?
Right.
So what's the top 3 things that you want to do today?
Yes.
The important things. Put those important tasks at the start of your day. But just determine what they are, chances are, the night before. Because then when life happens to you, does life ever happen to you? Life happens to me. Well, and all of a sudden we're derailed. Well, yes. You can still come back to the things that just 3.
Right. And be happy with 3. Write down the night before, just do a brain dump and write down everything. And everything. That's what I do. Because you're not going cheat as you're trying to sleep. Okay. But write them all down. And then, you know, what I do is I'll go do 1, 2, 3. I'll decide what's the most important. Yeah. What is the second? What is the third? After that, or if I'm going to town, I'll do every one of them in a number, so I know what order, because it may not come out of my brain in the order of the path through town, so that I'm not doing this going to town.
Zigzagging. Exactly.
Yes, but I have basically 2 lists side by side, and I have the things with times, like we have meetings today. We have things we've got to watch. Some are extremely important, some we can do later. And then I have my for lack of a better term, my to-do list. We need to rename it our want-to list.
Our want-to list.
Our
Yes, our
want-to
want-to
list.
list.
Yeah,
Yes,
watch the
absolutely.
words of your mouth.
Watch the words of your mouth.
But and so I'll put it down the side on days like today where I have scheduled things going on. I like paper. Number one, I can mark it off big. It can be sitting in the car beside me and I can pick it up and glance when I am in town as opposed to the phone. And for Barbara and I, we do a lot of different things together, and I've made her start a list on paper. And it's like, get your pencil on paper, because she is a digital person. But for future things, of these are some of the things that we, they kind of get lost in the minutia.
Future planning.
Phone.
Future planning.
And so, have you a notebook and write down, just like right now we're getting ready to have shorts on all of our videos. I mean, not all of them, but some, just little little snippets, 2, 3, 5 minutes snippets of things that we think are very important, that people can watch that and get, in their busy life, get a nugget. Because all we need each day is a nugget. Right. And if you get more than one nugget, that's icing on the cake.
Right.
So yes, those are, but that's one of the things that I like, is the notebook with paper stuff in it. I mean, with notes on paper that you can also go back and find. What did so-and-so tell us? What was she going to speak to us about on our show? And we can go back and look at our notes and find them. Or sometimes it's not easily found in the phone. And so that's
why find what the key to this is, find what works for you.
Yes.
Prioritize your top 3, and then this is huge, people, and I'm talking to you, everybody out there. Thank you for listening, but I'm talking to you. When you complete your 3 things, make sure that you celebrate the fact that you did them.
Yes.
And that you have crossed them off your list.
It is fun to cross them off.
It's fun to cross them off. And yesterday, and we all get caught and yesterday, Carol and I, we had several things that we needed to get done. And we got them done. And we were like, and I got off the phone and I just kind of was sitting there going like, and I wanted to make my shake. And I was just standing there kind of going, and it was like, Barbara, look at all the things that you got done, that you and Carol got done.
Yes.
And it's to celebrate. Do a little, like I do a little, like I call it my little happy dance. Your body, it feels good. It releases your endorphins. It's that feel good, I think it's oxytocin or something or other. It's one of those feel good hormones. When you celebrate your wins, I don't care if how small it is. I don't care if it was just you made your bed.
Yeah,
or you took a shower, or you you walked your dog.
Right.
It doesn't matter what that thing was, but celebrate it. It is so good for your physiology, for your body, for remembering. And then it also helps you to become more organized, because your body wants to feel good. Yes. So when you celebrate something that you've done, guess what? Your body remembers and it wants to do it again.
Well, and if you're not organized, start with the baby steps. Make your bed. It has been proven that people who make their bed when they get up every morning, they are more successful. So make your bed.
They're more productive.
If at all possible. Now, for many years, I couldn't make my bed because my husband was still in it when he was in it 20 hours a day. It sometimes didn't get made. But if you have the capability to make your bed, do and celebrate that. If you don't bathe on a regular basis, celebrate that. I have a friend that's kind of helping take care of this elderly man, and he doesn't want to bathe. He doesn't think it's necessary. So, he's in his 80s. It hadn't killed him yet. So
Yep, exactly.
anyway, but celebrate the little things, the baby steps. And then as you get those as a habit,
Right. They're right.
you can add another baby step. But habits take 3 weeks to make. And it takes 3 weeks to break a bad habit. It takes 3 weeks to make a good habit. Sometimes a little longer, depending how ingrained it is. So give yourself grace. A little baby does not fall down once and say, oh, I can't do that. Or even
walk,
they fall down hundreds of times and they get
thousands of times.
Hundreds of times, well, thousands of times, and get up and walk. And so give yourself grace. So many people start a business, especially a home business. 3 people say, no, I don't want to help. I don't want your product. I don't want to join you, whatever. And they go, oh, I can't do it. It's not for me. And so from then on, they say no to every home business that comes their way. God may be calling them to do something in the home business arena, whatever it is.
Right.
They say no because I can't do it. They fell down 2 or 3 times.
Right.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Get up and walk. Get back up. And
get
back up fast.
And get back up fast. Exactly.
Here in Texas, we talk about get back on that horse.
Get back.
You may have thrown you, but you get back on.
Yeah. But one of the things that I did want to mention that we talked about having a calendar or a planner or something to keep track of things that you need to do. Know your deadlines. Because and I am guilty of this. Once in a while, I will get caught up in busy work and then miss one of the biggies. Know your deadlines. When does this have to be done by? And I have to admit, once in a while, I have been known to put things off to the last minute, and then you're frazzled, you're frustrated because it's not coming together. Well, Barbara, gee, if you had started earlier, then maybe you wouldn't be having this, because then you know your deadline is looming. I'm doing a little presentation for one of the groups that I'm in on Wednesday. And so it was like, Barbara, you are going to, so I have now several things that of the points that I'm going to make. Now, all I have to do is fine tune of what order I want to put them in. I'm not dreading this presentation. It's going to be fun. They want to learn it. It's all about this new chat GPT. They want to learn it. And one friend of mine who's I'm teaching it to them said, "Oh, can I bring some other people?" Sure. Why not? So that's how it can escalate, because one thing that you find so easy to do, other people are like, don't even know how to turn on the basics.
And we run into that all the time. The thing is too, see, I'm a person, I get a task and I do a whole bunch right when I get it. And then it goes on the shelf and I forget it. And at the last minute, oh, I have to do this. But then there's the times that what happened to me this last week is I didn't get the list. I had said from somebody else by Friday. It was actually supposed to have been a week ago. The 2 weeks ago, I said, I must have this no later than Friday because I will be working on this over the weekend. Well, I got it Sunday night at about 9:30, 10 o'clock. Well, Mondays are busy days for me, and I had to literally clear important things off my schedule to work on it, and worked on it Tuesday. Wednesday, I'm gone. I'm in town. Sunday, Thursday, I'm really stressed. Barbara was going, oh my goodness. Because some of the issues we didn't know about until, like the pictures not importing. And the 10 years ago, I had all their name tags with pictures, but there were a lot more people coming. Right. And so I had none pictures. So there's nothing you can do other than try to make sure they give you your stuff in time, to forgive when it doesn't happen, and to forgive yourself for getting frustrated. And those things are not always easy, especially when you're in the midst of the fire and you're going, this is hot.
Exactly. So that just, just two little things that you can do to, just prioritize your tasks, put them on a calendar or some way of some planner. There are millions of planners out there. Find the thing is, find the one that works for you. Don't just take someone else's word for it.
Exactly.
Find the one that suits you.
Yes. And go and know your task. Put some smaller things about, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this to prepare.
Yeah.
And he set you some time markers there.
Right.
And that just like you cook dinner and it's like, okay, dinner needs to be ready at 5. So what do I need to do at 3, at 2, at 1? You don't go to the freezer and get your meat out at 4:30.
Right.
I mean, if you put meat in the microwave, God, it tastes pretty nasty.
Oh, it's awful. Yeah.
Anyway, so it's no different than that. How many of us have cooked for years? We may not anymore, but we've cooked for years. And so that you need to know what's going to be for lunch or dinner in the morning. And I'll ask Keith, I'll go, what do you want for lunch? He goes, I don't know. I'm going, you need to decide, because if we're going to have lunch, because we usually do a shake in the morning and a shake at night, and I cook for lunch, but I have to fit that in around my schedule. And so if he doesn't tell me, I'm going, you get leftovers out of the fridge. So,
Exactly.
You do have to plan, and you do have to make allowances for time. And so just don't forget to
and for other people's time frame. That's what Carol found out this week. Just we all have other people that we deal with.
Yes.
Things happen.
Yes.
So that's why. So, but when you are more organized and have time frames, then you can be just so that you're not quite so frazzled. You don't get so frustrated. And that comes into mental fitness.
Yes.
And then celebrate the fact that you got your 3 things done for the day.
Yes.
And try to get done in the morning, because then everything past that you get done, oh brother, is gravy.
On the cake.
That is icing on the cake. So really celebrate the extra things that you got done.
Yes. Well,
and share it with someone.
Yeah, in defense, it's not always the other person's problem.
Right.
One of the things we ran into is mail. Here in town, mail was taking over 2 and 3 weeks to arrive. People had sent in their money and their registrations. There was one guy in town that had sent his stuff in, and we still hadn't gotten it the day of the thing. And he's in town, and he sent it in weeks ago. So it's not always their fault for not getting you the stuff.
Exactly.
So in her defense, that it's like, okay, and I have to be aware of that and forgive and stuff like that, because stuff happens.
And forgive yourself if you mess up,
or if you get frustrated,
or if you do get frustrated. Yesterday at one point, I just said, Carol, you need to pray for me right at this moment, because right at this moment I was not, because something wasn't coming together. And now the thing is, when you do that, your mind just gets rid of it. I couldn't even tell you what I was frustrated about. I remember being frustrated, but I couldn't tell you what it was.
It was finding
finding a picture.
She would find was a video instead of a picture.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
And so let it go.
Little things, and the devil throws those rocks in the road. And if you hit a rock and you're riding a bicycle, sometimes you go down.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes you wobble a little bit. So if you fall down, get up, and get up fast. So
get up fast.
Yeah, thank you for listening to our musings this Monday morning. And I hope it's a beautiful day. It's starting to get very, very beautiful here. So enjoy.
Cool and rainy here.
We're here. We always praise the rain. We always embrace the rain, no matter how much or how hard, or because we're so dry. But praise God, we had rain this last week, and we have it in the forecast this week. So it had been months since we had rain. So
So
that is a good thing.
anyways.
We are a farming area. But anyway, love y'all. See you.
Take care. Make sure that you like, comment, share, post,
Ring
share
the
it out,
bell.
ring the bell, all of those things.
Yes.
Let us know. Comment that if there's something that you would like to
Yes.
hear about. We
Yes.
love to hear from you, and it is so fun when we do hear from people. So
Yes.
make sure we hear from you. Anyways, have a
And
great
if we
day.
don't respond quickly, know that we're probably wearing alligators for earrings,
Yes.
like last week. So, you know, those are pretty earrings. Where'd you get all of the alligators that are eating my ears?
Yeah. Yeah.
Bye.
Have a good one.